So we'll place the squash right in front of the walnuts because they should be able to squash the zombies once they reach. Okay, that sounds exactly like its name. So it just jumped up into the air and squash. But it's a one hit only, so I think we should save it for some time. Right now we'll concentrate more on building repeaters and maybe more walnuts. We still have football zombies and buckethead zombies waiting, so definitely going to be tough. So let's hope we can build up defenses. The first wave is coming. Hopefully it won't be as strong. Okay, so let's squash this guy because I don't think our pea shooter can handle that one. Now buckethead zombie. I think we need to get a repeater in place fast here in the waters at least, because it's going to get tougher now for the second wave, and then maybe we can concentrate on getting squashes. The enemies are definitely getting more aggressive in the pool levels. It was quite in the first stage, but definitely is more than what we normally saw in the previous stages, like the day and night stage. Okay, so there goes that guy. I think we'll build up another row of walnuts followed by repeaters right behind them, or maybe even squashes. Okay, let's go with repeaters because the squashes seem to be extremely slow to build. I think we should build some more defenses in the water because they seem to be sending the tougher enemies into the water. So this is the big wave. I think we'll see a football zombie here. So it took care of the football zombie at least. So that's something. So let's see, the squash hits. Okay, it hits behind as well. That's good. And we got a new plant seems to be extremely expensive, 325 sun. Hopefully it's as good as it's expensive. Shoots peas in 3 lanes. Okay, so that seems nice. Let's try this one in this stage. Let's try it. 3 Peter. Okay, yeah. So 3 P's. Yeah, 3 Peter sounds about right. Let's try it. Okay, so the sunflower makes a return as usual. Yeah, the very important lotus pad. I think we'll give up on the squash for now, because while it was useful, it did not really make, it is really not as good as the chomper, which does exactly what a squash does, but stays alive, and it is not as slow to generate as the squash. So we'll skip on the squash for this stage. We'll take the let's take the single shooting pea shooter, and since we'll take the more expensive 3 Peter, it's a new brand, so we'll try it. I'm going to skip on the snow pea and the repeater, because we already have one expensive pea shooter here with the 3 Peter, so I don't want to build on it. Let's go back and take the chomper this time, the walnut, and of course our trusted cherry bomb. What do you guys think about this team? Okay, so Aniket says cool, so I think that's about it. Our chat is very quiet today, it's not usually this silent. We do have 6 guys watching right now. Okay, so thank you. So we have only 3 people in the chat though. Abhi, Aniket, and let's do this music. Thanks for watching, guys. Please continue to support. So let's play. So again, starting with the sunflowers, it's easier that way. If we build up enough sun, then it does not get very difficult later. So we'll build the normal pea shooter, at least in one lane. We'll put the 3 Peters behind. So again we have 2 waves of zombies, so we should have enough time to build up a couple of 3 Peters just to see how they work. So the land pea shooters are built now. We have to concentrate on the water. Okay, that zombie had an unusual way of falling out. He did not seem to be too happy to die again. So I think we'll plant the three Peters, at least initially, in the second lane from top and the bottom, because since they hit all three lanes, we cover all the lanes that way. Then maybe the middle lanes. I'm not sure if I want to plant them in the first and the last lane, because then they can shoot only two of these lanes. So if we build up enough sun at towards the end, we'll plant them in all lanes. Otherwise we can just plant four of them. But definitely useful because they are hitting zombies even in the lanes where they're not present. So we are actually knocking out three zombies. They will be useful especially in these waves, because in the waves there are zombies coming in from all lanes, so we can hit more zombies that way. Okay, so there is some kind of scuba diving zombie that just popped up. It went underwater. Okay, so it surfaces when there is a plant. So I think our placement of the lotus pad there was correct, because we managed to stop that zombie. I don't think we'll have enough time to build the chompers, because the three peters are extremely expensive and we are using a lot of our resources just to build them, but seems to be totally worth it, considering you can see how many peas they are shooting at one point of time. So most of these normal zombies are getting knocked out easily. So I think the three peters are a good investment even if they are a bit expensive. The diving zombie just popped out and got his head knocked off, so you know, definitely worth the investment. Okay, let's plant it in the corners as well, since we do have enough sun now. And as we expected, they shoot only in two lanes now, but yeah, it's fine. The zombies are not getting much ahead, so we cleaned out the garden and they are hardly going two or three lanes into the garden, so I think the three peters are helping a lot. Okay, so we have a lot of zombies in the water this time. Let's see if we can plant a cherry bomb, get rid of those. Don't think it will be necessary though, seeing that they're already gone. Let's just do the big finale. Okay, so all out, and we have a new plant. Let's see what this one does. Aquatic plant that pulls a zombie underwater. Okay, so kind of like the squash but for the water, so it pulls zombies. I think this is, seeing that the cost is only 25 sun, I think this is also a one-time use plant like the potato mine or the squash. Anyway, let's play it, let's see how it works. Since we do not have many powerful aquatic plants, we can really try this one. Okay, the sunflower, the lotus pad. Okay, we have the diving zombies, bucket heads, newspaper guys, cone heads. So I think we'll we'll continue with the three peter, a really useful plant, I must say. So we'll take the cherry bomb again, and then finally we'll take the new plant that we got just now. So let's have a look at the almanac ones. Okay, so we have got quite a good collection of plants now. The tangle, the three-peater, the repeater, and I think we have found a lot of zombies as well. There are still many remaining, so I think we'll discover them sooner. Backup dancers, the dancing zombie, yeah, all of them there. So I think this team should be fine. Let's start. Okay, so we now have three waves. Okay, three waves are a bit too much to be honest, but yeah, I think the game is definitely going to progress towards more difficulty as it goes by. It does not surprise me that much. I think this is the first level where we have three waves. I don't think we have encountered three waves before this. Okay, we need a pea shooter in the last lane because that zombie is fast approaching. Okay, that was close. Okay, I think we really need to plant the walnut because that guy is going to get faster. Since we do not have a chomper, can just plant the walnut right in front of the pea shooter. Okay, so now we have a pole vaulter as well. That's not very good. Okay, so I just place that guy over here to ensure that it did not vault right over the walnut, which would have been disastrous seeing how fast he is. But I did not realize we had pole vaulters in the stage. It did a lot of damage to our walnut. I think if we had not placed that pea shooter right in front of it, the damage would have been even more. So now we got a repeater in place. It should definitely do more damage. The first wave is about to start. See what the first wave brings. So we have a three-peater now on the top lanes as well. We did not have enough walnuts though. Okay, we really need a walnut. Okay, but no, the three-peater helped in knocking out the newspaper zombie. If the three-peater wasn't there, it would have been much more difficult. We still need to try out our new plant, the tangle kelp, but I think we'll wait on it for now. I want to get the three-peaters in place before that. Okay, another Walter coming, so let's put this as bait for it. Here comes another walnut, another Walter. That walnut is heavily damaged. Hopefully it lasts long enough. So we just placed another three-peater. Definitely one of the more difficult stages we have encountered so far. Nothing that is not manageable as yet, but definitely more difficult than what we have seen so far. There are a lot more zombies, most of them stronger than usual, and there are three waves, so that's something. But so far we have been able to handle it. The last repeater is in place. Let's try the tangle kelp because we have diving zombie. And it's gone. Okay, so it's like it hunts even the hidden monsters. So the diving zombie is hidden and the tangle kelp is hidden. So just pulls it underneath without even a struggle. Just splash and gone. Yeah, gone. So wrapped its tendrils around that zombie and just pulled it into the watery abyss. Nothing stopping it. Let's put in a second wave of walnuts because it definitely looks like things are about to get tougher. Think we'll clean out some of the pea shooters. Oops, I accidentally removed my three-peater, but I did not mean to. I meant to get rid of the normal pea shooters so I could plant some of the three-peaters. Instead, I got rid of the very expensive three-peaters. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. Hopefully, this time I remove the right one. Okay, yeah. More pole vaulters coming in. Okay, the final wave. We have good amount of defense in place, so not much to worry about. But nonetheless, I'll just get one more pea shooter and three-peater in place. So the kelp got rid of at least one of the bucket heads. Let's blow these guys up. Okay, another note. So it's the fifth stage, so probably another mini game. We already played two mini games, one in the day stage and one in the night stage. So the fifth levels are usually the mini games. Okay, there's some bacon here. Okay, so what are you going to do with bacon? That's true. What are we going to do with bacon? Are we going to feed the zombies? Okay, you found my bacon. Apparently, it belongs to Crazy Dave. My sweet oily bacon. 1,000 coins for that slice. Okay, I think we can take care of that. The bacon is useless to us anyways. Okay, here's some new items in the shop. I'm going to bacon all over my face. Okay, so here's a few new things. So let's try. Okay, these are mini games, so it's not very useful in game, but these things definitely are. So he has 8 slots. Yes, we could use that for sure. Okay, 9 slots is a bit expensive. We'll not use that now. Okay, pool cleaners add an extra line of defense on levels of the pool. It's kind of like lawn mowers but for the water. So yes, we'll take that. This looks interesting. Plan these on your repeaters to turn them into Gatling peas. Gatling peas shoot 4 peas at a time. Okay. Yes, this is useful. We'll take this. Plant these on your sunflowers to turn them into twin sunflowers. Twin sunflowers give twice as much sun as a sunflower. This is useful. So instead of one sun, we get two sun from twin sunflowers. So yeah, I think this is a good buy. We'll come back for 9 slots once we gain enough money, because right now we do not have enough. But I think I'm good with our haul. We got quite a few good items there. Now the rake, I don't think the rake is that useful. Maybe later. Okay, let's try level 5 for now. Is it going to be another mini game? Funny thing on the zombie process, sometimes it come out real little. Okay, real little and real mean. Defend your shins. Okay, so let's see what this is. Okay, so he was not kidding when he said it makes them little, because those guys look really small. Let's try hitting the conehead first. I think these little guys are weaker than the normal zombies as well, because the conehead went down much faster than usual. So I think they're okay. Let's bomb some of them. But we really need one more, because I do not want to waste my cherry bomb on that guy there. But I could definitely use it on a footballer. We need more pea shooters for sure. Especially in that last lane, we do not have any kind of defense for now. These guys are definitely stronger than usual. They're not as strong, but they're very fast. It looks like this. For reduced resistance, they have got more speed instead, and we have 2 waves. So you can see the new uh, pool cleaners that we have just bought at the corner. So let's get rid of the football zombies. I'm not a big fan of them. So so we had one message just now. Okay, another GSM messaged me. So they wanted to know which adventure we are in. Okay. So we are still in adventure mode 1. I think on the second one, it's like the game plus that we get on some of the games where there are more modes. From what I remember, when I played the game earlier, uh, Crazy Dave gave us 3 plants, and we could use we could not change those 3 plants, and we could select only the others. That's how it worked. So we have another huge wave coming up, but the cherry bomb should be able to make short work, and the footballers are all down, but we still have the zombie with the scuba zombie creeping in, but we took care of that as well. And we got Mr. Chili's. Okay, ads again. Okay, Alpinos. Okay, they destroy an entire lane of zombies. We'll try that this time. Level 6. Definitely a lot of ads. Okay, let's see. So takes sunflowers, and I'll try the new twin sunflowers as well. Probably the repeater and Gatling repeaters. So our usual walnut. We'll try the new jalapeno, and I cannot forget the lily pad because that one is going to be important in this stage. And let's see, we can use the should we use the tangle keep or take the normal pea shooter to make sure that at least the initial advances are met. Let's go with the pea shooter. So the tangle cap, I think we can manage without it because we can plant some good plants like the Gatling pea and right behind it, so they should be able to knock off all the zombies. Now let's go with this team. We have 8. So we got 3 new plants to try this time. We'll have to try the jalapeno, which we just got, and also the 2 plants we brought, the twin sunflowers and the Gatling pea. Can't wait to try all of them. Okay, this twin sunflower is ready to use. Let's put the pea shooter in first to stop that incoming zombie. Okay, so our first twin sunflower is planted. Okay, so definitely helps the twin sunflower with 2 suns coming out of it, so that increases the sun production rate massively, but it's very slow to cool down. The cooldown seems to be extremely slow. Okay, I was a little slow there. So we definitely need to get more walnuts in place. Otherwise it's going to be difficult. Yeah, so we tried the jalapeno in a desperate attempt, but worth it. So we got rid of 2 zombies. We still need to try out the new Gatling pea, so maybe we'll push it before the second wave comes in. Right now I want to build a few more walnuts to make sure our defenses are in place. The jalapeno seems to be a very useful plant as well, so I think we'll use it on this sled that's coming out, because it does not seem to be something that our pea shooters will be able to stop. So more twin sunflowers before we go for the Gatling peas. Let's try a Gatling pea. Let's put in the water. It definitely looks cooler than the repeater, that's for sure. So it's like a machine gun, a pea machine gun, the way it shoots. I think we are going to lose that walnut. Okay, so we managed to put it back, and now we got a repeater there, so that should be able to take care of any damage. Okay, so we got one more Gatling P in the water. Let's see if our repeaters can take out that snow sled, otherwise we'll use the jalapeno against it. No, it does give it damage, but not as much, so I think we need to use the jalapeno. Okay, we got another plant for our struggles, so let's see what this one does. Spike weed. Okay, it pops tires and hurts zombies that step on it, so I think it will be useful against the uh, snow sleds that we saw just now, because definitely looks like they need to be knocked out, and as you could see, even the repeater could not do much against it, so I think the spikes can do some damage, and it also hurts other zombies, so that would be useful as well. So let's continue on. So we are at level 7 now. Okay, so again these sleds. So let's see. I'll take the flowers and sunflowers, and let's go with the Gatling peas again. So definitely the spike weed, our new plan. Let's try it. The walnut is a must for defense, and the lily pad, of course, not to forget it, because this we won't be able to plant anything on the water. Now for the final slot, which one should I take? Should I use the jalapeno, the tangle kelp, or should I go with our trusted cherry bomb? What do you guys think? Which plant should I use as the final slot? Or should I just go with the normal pea shooter to stop the initial waves? Okay, so looks like the pea shooter wins this one. Let's go with it then. So the pea shooter at 100 sun definitely is useful in the early game, not that strong as the level passes towards the end it is almost useless, but yeah, it definitely helps initially when we have less sun to spend. And we have three waves this time, so I think the twin sunflowers can come in quite handy. So let's just fill in at least one lane with pea shooters just to make sure we have basic offense, and then we can try to get some walnuts and the twin sunflowers going. Last but not the least, definitely want to try some repeaters and gatling peas, and of course the new spike weed that we have. So let's try planting a spike weed. It's okay, it starts hurting the zombie almost immediately. So, and okay, so I think it only disappears if an actual vehicle steps on it. So I think definitely a very useful plant to have. Let's plant some on the other side as well. So that plant definitely does not go underwater, but up the water quite useful on land. So it starts damaging the enemies almost immediately. So that's quite a useful thing to have. So my water defense are not that strong, so I think I need to add at least the repeaters. So our spike weeds are doing quite some damage on land. So land is not the problem. Right now I need to increase my offense and defense in the water. Now that the first wave is over, we may see more enemies as usual from the water. the twin sunflowers definitely increase the output of the sun. Still have to plant a Gatling pea. I'll try that after I've planted the final repeater. Maybe also a few more spike weeds. The spike weeds are definitely useful. Okay, so yeah, completely exploded that vehicle, so that's why spike weeds are useful, but it managed to destroy our spike weed as well, but it was totally worth it. Dealing with the vehicles with pea shooters or even the Gatling peas is a bit difficult. Spike weeds are cheap and they do not have as much of a cooldown, so I think it's not much of a problem. And they do passive damage to the zombies who stamp on it, so I think overall they are quite useful. Let's plant some more of them because I think we have enough sun now, and we only really want to plant the twin sunflowers and the uh, Gatling peas, and they have very slow cooldown, so it may take a while before we are able to plant any of them. So until then, and I don't think we need to plant any twin sunflowers anymore either because we have filled the lane. So it's just the Gatling pea, so I think we can spend some more on the spike beads. Now with the final wave approaching, definitely something that could help us. Spike beads are causing a lot of damage to the zombies. They aren't able to get in much. So if you look at the enemies in the water and the ones on land, even with the water lanes having Gatling peas, the enemies are getting destroyed faster on land because of the spike beads. Okay, so we have one more vehicle coming in, another snow sled, which we popped out before it even showed itself. Gatling pea doing its work in the water. So I think a spike weed right in front of the walnut would do a lot of damage because while the zombies would take some time to eat up the walnut, the spike weed would keep damaging it. So that is something we could try later. Now we get another new plant. peas that pass through it turn into fireballs. So torchwood is our new plan. Of course, if we use the snow pea with it, it would turn into a normal pea, which would, totally lose its value. So do not use the torchwood with snow peas. But with something like a Gatling pea, it causes massive double damage. So I think we are going to try the Gatling pea along with the torchwood. Let's try it this time. So we'll take the twin sunflowers, the repeater, and the Gatling pea, the lily pad definitely, the walnut, I think the spikeweed, and the torchwood. Okay, I think this team seems good enough. Let's go with it. I'm leaving out the pea shooter. I think uh, it has run its course, and while the enemies did not seem that strong, I would really like to try out new combinations, see how it works. It may be a bit difficult at the beginning because plants are quite expensive, but let's try it anyways. So we have two waves zombies. Let's put the walnut in to stop guy from make it covering too much ground. Then we'll plant the repeater to stop its onslaught. Let's try the spikeweed. The spikeweed should be able to knock it out. Yeah, it worked. So I think this one is useful way rather than waiting for the to get enough resources for the repeater. The spikeweed walnut combo works just as fine. Let's put a double spikeweed there. We really need the walnut to grow. But it managed to plant it quite late though. So but repeaters are in place, so it's fine. Now we need to concentrate on the water because we have not built anything there. We have our first water enemy coming up there. Peter is fine here. The spike weeds cannot be planted on water, which kind of makes sense, but yeah, it would have been very a useful plant. So I wonder how it will do against the cone zombie. Spikeweed taking more time but managed to stop it anyways. So we need one repeater in the last lane as well, because that walnut is almost done for. Hopefully the spikeweed can take it out before it completely destroys the walnut. Yeah, it did. So Mr. Versoblocks wants us to play Roblox. Sure, friend. So for now I would like to complete this game, but definitely I would like to try Roblox as well. Okay. Zombie which rides a shark. Okay, it is like the aquatic version of the pole vaulting zombie. Okay, that's something new, but wow. Luckily we have the repeaters there which are strong enough to knock it out soon. Okay, that repeater almost got knocked out. But so let's try the torchwood. I like to try the Gatling P, but for now let's start with at least the torchwood. Okay, okay, that guy destroyed my torchwood, but I think we can now produce some more. Hmm. Torchwoods are not, you know, living strong enough to withstand zombies, but at least it gives additional firepower where necessary. I think we should concentrate more on the land with the torchwoods, because in water the shark surfers are finishing it off before we can have much use out of it. But I think with the Gatling P we could take care of it. Okay, the final wave. We did not get to use the Gatling P, unfortunately, at least not yet, but I think we'll have to use it on that big line, because there seem to be a lot of zombies there in the water lane. I think we'll use the Torchwood Gatling combo here, because there are 4 zombies. So and the Gatling Peer along with the fire Torchwood combination makes short work of those zombies. And that's the end of that. So and we get a new plant. Tall nut, heavy duty wall that can't be vaulted over. Okay, this is useful. So I think it will stop both the pole vaulters and the shark surfers. So yes, I will definitely try Roblox once I complete this game. So right now uh, I'm concentrating on this game, but I can definitely try Roblox once that's done. So right now we are we are halfway through level 9 on the pool stage. So we have snow studs this time, the shark surfers, pole vaulters, cone heads, bucket heads, normal zombies. So definitely a very strong opposition. I think the tall nuts can protect against the vaulters and shark surfers, but they seem to be more expensive than the normal walnuts, but definitely more stronger. So take those. Take the twin sunflower. I will pass on the repeater for this time because they are very expensive and difficult to know build. So I'll go back to the trusty pea shooter. The lily pad is a must, and we'll pass on the walnut this time and take the tall nuts instead. Spike weeds definitely help, so we'll take those. And then maybe the tangle kelps, and I don't know what the last plant should be. Maybe a chomper. I think we'll go back to the chomper. Yeah, the chomper should be work fine. Or should I go for the torchwood along with the pea shooter? I don't think with a single shooter, I don't think it will be that good. Let's go with the chomper. The torchwood would work better if we had the repeater or even the three-peater, but with this single assault of the pea shooter, I don't think it's that useful. Let's try the tall nut and the chomper combo this time. Oh, okay, we have three waves, so we should be able to try out the tall nuts, and we should be able to get twin sunflowers everywhere. Let's get the pea shooters rolling. So with the spike weeds on land and tangle kelps in the water, I think we should be able to get through the stage. So we are yet to get to the first wave, but in the last few levels we used more expensive plants, so it was taking us time to really build up a foundation. But this time, since we're going with the cheaper versions like the pea shooters, it is not that expensive. Okay, so we have a running vaulting zombie, so let's put our tall nut to the test. Okay, and that guy gets stopped right in his tracks. So yeah, it works exactly as advertised. So we planted one more tall nut. We'll go with a few spike beads as well, I guess. Maybe we should plant the chompers first. Then maybe the spike beads. So we'll just do kind of, both of them. I think I'll plant the tall nuts in the water first, because you know the sh- the shark the shark surfers are definitely more dangerous than the pole vaulters. So we definitely need more defense in the water. So I think we are almost at the first wave. Okay, so here come the surfers, and our tall nut blocks them. Let's see if a kelp can take it down. Yeah, it's gone. We need, I think we need a chomper in the water.